Now that we have our key pair generated, the next step is to share our public key with the people that we want to receive encrypted messages from, so that they can encrypt messages using our public key, so that we will be the only people that can decrypt these messages because we have the private key. So, in order to do this, you need to come to your passwords and keys. Like I said, you can access this from Applications, Utilities, and click on Passwords and Keys. As you can see, I have it already opened, and I already selected my key pair, which I created in the previous lecture. Now, in order to export the public key, now keep in mind we're exporting the public key, not the private key. We never share the private key, hence the name private key. So, we're going to go to File, we're going to click on Export. And you need to select the location where you want to store your public key in. Now, I'm going to select my Tor browser directory because I want to share this through email, so I want to add it as an attachment. And as we know, the Tor browser can only access the Tor browser directory in Tails. That's why I selected this directory, but you can store it anywhere you want. Now, I'm also going to change the format from PGP to armored PGP. This won't really make a big difference. The reason why I'm doing this so that I can show you the content of the key as plain text. So, we're done here. I'm going to click on Export. And that's it. It's done. So, if I go to my home directory and go to Tor browser, you can see we have a file called johnwick.asc. And this is my public key that I can share with anybody so that they can encrypt data and send it to me. Now, you can literally attach this file the way it is. You can upload it to a file sharing service like I showed you, or use Onion Share. You can use any method of sharing this file. If you don't want to share it as a file, you can also right-click it. Select Open with Other Application. Select View All Applications, and select your text editor to open it with the text editor. If I click on Select here, you'll see we'll be able to read the file as normal text. And this way, you can literally copy all of this and paste it anywhere you want. So, like this, you can share the key without having to upload the file or attach it anywhere. You can copy this text, send it as an instant message, print it on a piece of paper and give it to someone. You can do anything you want with it. So you have two ways of sharing it. You can literally copy this text and send it to the person that you want to receive encrypted data from, or you can attach this file right here. And like I said, you can use any method of communication. It doesn't really matter how you send it. Now, just as an example, I'm going to be sending this as an email. So, I've already logged in into my webmail, as you can see in here. And what I want to do is send a message. So I'm going to click on Compose. I'm going to put the email of the person I want to send this to. So I'm sending this to another email account that I own for David Smith at elude.n. I'm going to set the subject and I'm going to call this my PGP key. And then you can write anything here if you wanted the message. So we're going to say, please find my PGP key below. And you can literally just paste all of the text that you copied in here, like I said, and then they'll be able to use this key as text to encrypt data to you, and we'll see how you can do that. This is the first method of sharing your key. Like I said, you can also share the key file that we exported. To do that, we're going to use an attachment. So again, I'm going to click on Browse and select the key file that we have in here. We're already in the Tor browser directory. So you just double-click this, and that's added to the attachment. Now, like I said, you don't need to send both. I'm just showing you both here as an example. But only sending the key as a file or as text in here is enough for the other person to start encrypting data for you. Not only that, but you can even add this key to your signature. So every time you communicate with someone, they will see your public key, and if they wanted to, they can encrypt the data that they're sending to you using your public key, and this way Nobody can read this data except you. A lot of people even put this in their profile page in forums and even in markets. So if you click on a certain account, you'll probably see their PGP key pasted like this, so that when you communicate with them, you would use this key to encrypt the data, and that way they will be the only people able to read the message because you encrypted it using their public key. So the whole idea is you want to share this with anybody that might want to communicate with you, so that when they send you something, you will be the only person able to read what they sent you. So we have the key here, we have it attached. We've already said the email and the subject, so I'm just going to click on send to send this email. And I'm going to go to the other computer. This is David's computer, the person that is supposed to send messages to John. As you can see, I'm already logged in to the email account as well. I'm going to refresh to see if I got anything in my inbox. And as you can see, I have a new message. We're going to go to the inbox. And this message is coming from John Wick. Perfect, so we're going to click on it. And again, as you can see, we have the key in both forms, as an attachment and as text. So now, this is David, and if we go back to our diagram, David is the person that wants to send an encrypted message to John. So what John did is he created a key pair. He sent John the key pair. So we have the key right here. What we need to do right now is download the key, and in the next lecture I'll show you how we use it to encrypt a message. So, let's go ahead and download the key. So we have it in here as an attachment. All we have to do is click on download. And as usual, if you click on save, this will only allow you to save it in the Tor browser directory, and it's called johnwick.asc. So I'm going to click on save to save it there. And if we go to our home directory, go to Tor browser, you will see we have the key saved right here. Now I'm actually going to remove this, because I also want to show you how to download the key if it was sent as plain text, if it was not sent as an attachment. So we're going to assume that you just got the key like this as text. So if you want to save a key that you got like this, for example, if you got it as an instant message, or if you saw it on a forum or on an account where the user was sharing their public key so that he can encrypt messages for them. In that case, if you want to start sending encrypted messages to this person using this key, you want to make sure, first of all, you copy the whole key from the start here all the way down to the end. I'm going to right-click and copy. And then you want to open a text editor. So we're going to go to Accessories. We're going to open our text editor. We're going to paste everything that we copied in here. We're going to save, Control-S or click here. And you want to store this in any location that you want. Now, you don't really have to put it into our browser. I'm just going to put it there anyway. And we're just going to call this John Wick again, not ASCII. We're going to click on Save. And again, we have the file now. If we go back to this directory, we have the file, the johnwick.asc, and inside it, it has the content of the public key of John. Now, all we have to do is import this public key to our keyring. To do that, again, we have to open the passwords and keys here. And we're going to go to File, Import, and select the key that we want to import. If you couldn't see it here, then make sure you go to the location where you downloaded it. So in my case, it was into our browser. And again, we have the key that we want to import in here. Click on Open. It's going to show you the information of this key. Again, like I said, remember, I said anybody who has access to this public key will be able to see your email address. And as you can see, we can actually see John's email address right here, and we can see his name right here, John Wick. That's why it's very important to use your anonymous or fake identity in here. We're going to click on Import to add this key. And now if we click on our GNU PG keys, as you can see, we have John Wick as an entry in here, And as you can see, John Wick in here has an icon of one gold key. We don't see two icons. Going back to John's computer, if we go to the passwords and keys in here, you can see John has two keys in here because this is a key pair. John has his own private key and the public key, but at David's computer, David only has the public key, and that's why we see only one gold icon in here. Again, if you right-click this and go to Properties, you'll be able to see the name and the email of the key owner. You can see the key ID, and clicking on Details, you can see the fingerprint, which, like I said, can be used to verify the owner of the key, and we'll talk all about that later on in the course. For now, we have imported the public key of the person that we want to communicate with, so right now we can start encrypting data and send it to John, and the only person that will be able to see the content of this data is John, because he is the only person that has the private key.